Hey guys, welcome to 5-9 Gaming. It's your boy Minato's Flash here, and today we're going to be ranking our own personal top 10 tier list for Dokkan Battle OSTs. This is something a little fun we wanted to go ahead and do just to wrap up all the recent tier list videos we have been doing on the channel. Of course, I am not alone today. We are joined by the boy SaitoRaijin. Hello, Saito.
I'm just playing. What's good, y'all?
Yeah, and we did go ahead and just talked about it. We compiled a top 10 list for our Dokkan OSTs. We're going to be going down from 10 to 1, and we also have an honorable mention we'll be mentioning right before the last spot. So I guess, let's just hop right into number 10. So our number 10 spot is the LRSTR Tau OST. So this is one that we both agreed is definitely on the top 10 list. I feel like personally, I really like how the LRSTR Tau OST, like the middle section of it is really my favorite part the most especially. And I really like, the strong build up. What do you think about the OST, Saddle, personally? Why did it make, this list for you?
It made this list for me personally because I typically get a lot of movie vibes provided by anything that's within this list. However, when I listen to this OST, it's something that back in the day I could have listened to when the World Tournament, things like that was happening, or when Goku first fought Tao for the very first time. It was giving me like, oh, Tao's about to mess you up type vibes, especially with the rock theme that they chose for it. And then the middle section has that little slowdown back into that build up. It's just an overall really nice OST to begin with.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a nice solid 10 to our list, that's for sure. And yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say about it. I feel like you listen to the OST, there's definitely a lot happening to it, but in the end, it's in the end kind of like a more straightforward
It's
OST.
ear candy.
Like, yeah, it's very,
candy.
Yes, very for sure. All right, Saito, so let us know about what our number 9 on the list is.
Okay, come in our number 9. A lot of you may disagree with it, but when it's compared to a lot of things within this list, you're going to completely understand. So come in our number 9 spot. We got LR Tech Gogeta. I know what you're thinking. I know this man did not just say it's at our number 9 spot. Well, guess what? It is. Why? Because it gives you that movie vibe. It gives you that fusion. You feel me? But it has a little bit of the low beat type side. It's not like too thump, if you know what I'm saying. But honestly, it's just an overall smooth OST. It's like the other one, ear candy, and it just rings in the ears really nice. Minato, go ahead and give them your little input on it.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, when this OST first came out, I was one of the people who I was kind of like not digging it too much, fortunately. But when I actually, started actually using the unit in game mode, for example, and actually using the OST, seeing with the fusion itself, it really does fit the kind of Gogeta character, like finally the fusion's here, he's here, he's gonna beat you up, you're gonna win the day. It's a very nice epic theme for sure, and I feel like, it's definitely like the nice, like especially at the beginning, the little guitar riff that he's doing is really, really cool, for sure, and it's definitely why it's in my own personal top 10 OST. I feel like it's better than the Towels for sure. But I'm not sure if I would personally put it over the next one we have on the list. So I guess that's a nice segue into number 8 for our tier list right here. We're going to be looking at STR Bojack. Now I feel like STR Bojack is probably one on the tier list that not many people would think of a top 10. Oh, STR Bojack for sure, 100% on there. But STR Bojack's OST, I really like the kind of like almost like pirate-ish-esque theme kind of feeling I get from it. Like, you kind of definitely feel like it's a, galactic pirate going around, taking over planets and stuff like that. I also really like the STR Bojack unit as well, so that also adds a little extra sweet flavor into it. And I guess, honestly, it's just a really fun, nice, enjoyable OST that I feel like I could definitely listen to multiple times for sure. What are you thinking about this OST, Saito?
I really like it, especially when you're about to get that OST in the game. Just go ahead and pop that little transformation in the game. Guess what? The entire theme just changed. It didn't turn into something extremely aggressive because you already know what time it is. It's time for you to hit someone like, I don't know, a 4 million attacks that. You attack stat lovers out there. It just is very, very, very upbeat. There's no low moments in it, and it only gets aggressive from here on and things like that. When you listen to like the extendeds and things like that, it doesn't really get old, to tell you the truth. But overall, it's just a genuinely really nice OST. It was a hard pick between the two when it came to Bojack and maybe Tech Gogeta, but overall they're both outstanding OSTs, but BoJack just takes the cake just by a little bit because it's a little bit more rock heavy.
And I definitely agree with you there. So yeah, I mean, that's really all I would say about BoJack. Definitely very nice, consistent OST. Let's move on to, I believe this would be our number 7 spot. Yeah, you're right, Saito. So, go ahead and explain, Saito.
All right, so number 7. I don't think there's any argument there. Number 7 is coming in with LR Physical 17 and Frieza. Now, why this one made it? So when you think about it, go ahead, shut your eyes just for a few seconds. You got them on the screen. It's all action-packed OST from here on out. It's not like it's necessarily extremely rock heavy. It just gives you that overall vibe that you're in a battle and the battle's progressing, things like that, and the OSTs is just going within the motions of what's going on screen. It's not like it's like super rock heavy, super theatrical. It just has that simplistic vibe that you wanted to listen to at the time when it comes to this particular OST. But that's honestly all I have on it. What you got on it, Minato?
Honestly, you pretty much nailed it, I feel like, for me personally as well. It's a nice, simplistic type of theme compared to others, like, people may think of like, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, trumpets blaring, all kinds of stuff happening. And Tech Frieza and 17 is a more like nice, simple one. It has that little techno type of theme vibe going on in there in some sections, which is really cool because a lot of Dokkan OSTs also don't kind of incorporate, like that little techno theme. I feel like it's something like, that's special to this Frieza and 17 OST that I really liked ever since it came out, and honestly has been sticking with me with this specific OST since then. But as I said, it's very simple. There's not much really else to explain about it. It's just a very good OST that we both personally do enjoy here. So yeah, moving on to I believe this is our number 6 spot. We do have LR Ultra Instinct Goku, the best unit in the game. But besides that, he also has that banger OST with him. I really do like LRUI Goku's OST. I feel like, once you hear it just beginning, you already know it's just a very powerful, like strong feeling with it. It kind of matches with the heroic type theme, which is kind of, in a sense, it's kind of like very odd because Goku's like saying he's not a hero of justice or anything, but in reality, he kind of is in that situation. I just really like it and how it builds up overall as well. It's just a very nice, fun theme that really matches DUI Goku for me. What do you think about it, Saito? What's your thoughts?
Hey, honestly, you couldn't have said it better. It has that good build up for a card such as Goku's. You just know it's time to just slam barred whoever's in front of you. It has that type of vibe to it. It has like a smooth, as a simple up to an upbeat, and just overall it's just it's more ear candy. I can't stress on this ear candy. When I think of a UI Goku card, I think of something that's really orchestra based, but this one doesn't have, like you would say, like opera in it or things like that, but it holds that theme that it has such a very, what's the word I'm looking for, a simple start to a very intricate and slow build up, because when it gets to this ending, you know it's time, especially on the active skill. The active skill holds the OST the best, honestly.
Yeah, and it feels like that final boss theme, especially with that like orchestral type, additions they have to the OST. It really wraps it together, in my opinion, and that's why I personally feel like definitely deserves to be on this top 10 tier list. Although it's like not like number 1, 2, or 3 or anything like that. It still holds its own, and it still holds a candle to the rest of these OSTs on the tier list.
Big facts.
Yeah, it's moving on to our number 5 spot. Saito, let us know what number 5 is,
Alright, look, good. Look, guys, welcome to the top 5. Now, here's where it's about to get a little bit not kid friendly, okay? Because y'all all about to just be mad. Alright, our number 5 is going to be LR Tech Jiren. Hold your horses. Why is it Tech Jiren? Look, listen. That rock hits really quickly. Right there in the middle section, you think it's gonna be a little jump, but it's not. It keeps the same theme. Like, now, typically people will think that's a little bit repetitive, but when it comes to Jiren's, it doesn't feel repetitive. It feels like it's where it actually needs to be, especially when you're playing an event. But when you think about what you're listening to, you also got to think about, can I listen to this a lot? Because a lot of people like to listen to their OSTs or their songs on repeat. Is this one of those songs? You can't tell me it's not, which is also why I made it into the top 5. It's not like it's bad or it's going to get really old, because it really doesn't. But what do you think, Minato?
I think one of my favorite parts about the OST is like really how it starts off. The little like ringing sound at the beginning, just for it to drop instantly like that, I feel like is really cool. And I can't really get enough of it, because again, it's not something that other OSTs usually do. Similar to like my reasoning for the 17 of Frieza and their like little kind of techno vibe to it, in my opinion. That little ring and then the instant drop just feels really good for an OST. And again, like you said, I like the actual, the second half of it where, you're kind of thinking it's gonna really turn into more so of a, I forgot the word you had said specifically.
Like an extreme rock heavy type thing, but it doesn't. It just stays keeps its
but it still keeps kind of like the rock-ish vibes.
Yeah,
to it. That's the thing, which I really do enjoy. A lot of these OSTs do like the rock type theme very well. I feel like personally those are probably some of the better Dokkan OSTs in the game. Those like keep like it, and you could probably tell it's a little influence in this list, of course, in our again personal opinions. But yeah, that's why we feel like, Tech Jiren. I do feel like it's a little better than UI Goku's, especially, this list is very close and compact, but especially like the beginning part where it's just something unique to it, I feel like that's one of the really things that makes it go above the UI Goku for me personally. But yeah, that's enough talking about the boy Jiren today. Let's move on to the next one. I know me and Saito talked about it, and he really personally likes this one. This would be our number 4 spots, LR Tech Gohan. Since I know you love this OST, Saito, I'll go ahead and let you take the floor, dude.
Alright, man, listen. For anyone who grew up watching the movies, or at least watching the movies in this day and age on repeat, freaking Gohan, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan or Base Gohan versus Bujin, Beto, and I almost said Fasha, Zanya, and Bojack, that theme just rings in your ears. And then that transformation when Gohan's about to mess everything up, bro. This theme will typically hold a special place in most people's hearts, and then for them to be like remix it, revamp it for the game Dokkan, it's excellent ear candy and something that you can listen to all the time. The theme, it's not like it's aggressive, it's not like it's simple, it's smooth. It's smooth. But Minato, I don't know what you think about it, but let me go and hear your input on it, because
yeah, I feel like my favorite part of it is how it just slowly builds up over time, but as it like slowly builds up, you can feel the more intensity with it, and it feels like, Gohan coming in at first, he's just kind of chilling, and then bam, he just one-shots an enemy, one-shots 5 people. And again, personal opinions do influence into these tier lists, especially just an OST one specifically, just for good fun. But Gohan, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan from the BoJack movie, just like Saito growing up, that was my jam. I loved that part of the movie especially, and the fact that they kind of remixed it into Dokkan like this really holds a special place in my heart, just as my childhood growing up here. And again, just the build up and then the real drop at the end where the trumpet's blaring and everything like that is really cool to me, and I really do enjoy this OST. That's why I kind of like it a little better than Tech Jiren as well, and we have him at the number 4 spot right here. Yeah, I mean, I think we said pretty much all we have to say about Gohan, so let's move on to our number 3 spot, the top 3 finally, what we think are the best of the best OST in this game.
Hold on, Minato.
Spot.
Before you even say that, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, our number 2 is something nobody listened to.
Yeah, but this is number 3.
I know this is number 3, but I'm gonna tell y'all the number 2. Hold on, wait a minute.
No.
None of y'all listen to it.
Okay. Let's stop spoiling the list before you get to it. Dang it.
How's that a spoil? They don't know.
It's not. Okay, let's just go on. Okay, number 3. Physical Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta. I know a lot of people also like this OST. I feel like it's been, just general across the actual community. People are thinking nice of this OST. They like this OST. And I'm personally one of the people that really do love it. The piano beginning where it just kind of flows in, and like the bum ba dum bum bum bum. I don't know if if there's OST playing in the background and I just sound really dumb, but yeah, I mean, how it builds up as well, and just especially in the active skill itself where Vegeta's saying, you're number 1 Kakarot, stuff like that. I feel like it really does fit Vegeta's theme. I like the kind of like, it's not necessarily build up, but I like how it flows through and keeps itself consistent like that. But my favorite part is just, at the beginning, the piano part especially is my favorite part of it. I just really also love that moment in the series as well. And again, I know Saito also likes this OST, so what you thinking, brother?
I really like the OST. Has just like most of them, has a really smooth OST. It's not like it's extremely heavy on rock or anything like that. It holds a special place in a lot of people's hearts when it comes to the franchise of Dragon Ball as a whole, or Dragon Ball Z, wherever you want to really call it. And the music just fits the moment extremely well. And just like, the Bojack with his active, freaking Vegeta's, when you hear that, we see that active go off and you got that theme, you got the freaking orchestra in the background, you hear Vegeta literally talk to you into the game. It makes you vibe with it more, want to listen to it more. And it just hits all the right places. It's just a really nice OST, and it couldn't be any further down the list.
All right, and yeah, I think that's all good. Let's move on to number 2, Saito. Obviously, as you could tell earlier, you're very excited about this one, so just go ahead and let the world know, Saito. Come on.
All right, number 2. None of you listen to this. Go ahead. I'm gonna type it up. Do the typing thing. LR free to play STR Zamasu, aka Goku Black. This theme straight slap, and it's unique to most of the OSTs in the game, because not only it doesn't have its OST, it actually has opera and orchestra really in the back. It has menacing evil vibes, darkness. Okay, it's time to be evil on Dokkan. It's the type of theme that plays where, the event can't win because you're just about to do it wrong. This is the type of theme that you want to be listening to, right? You can probably put this theme on repeat for any character in this game. Oh, look, we got Gogeta. It's time to play the Zamasu theme because they can't win. They just can't. That's the type of theme that it holds. But Minato, what do you feel about the theme, honestly? Let me know. Okay?
I think it's kind of like sad that this is just limited to an Extreme Z battle, which is why people don't really know about it too often, especially for this unit that's really, at this point, almost going to be 2 years old yet. That's like the only place you hear the OST, but it's 100% fits the Goku Black theme, and 100% fits like this final boss type theme, and with the little freaking orchestra and the opera in the background singing like that, it really does give you this menacing type vibe, and honestly adds that special little thing that, like you said, no other Dokkan OSTs really do have, which definitely, has to give it some merit above other OSTs in the game, that's for sure. And it just all blends in so well together. It's so nicely done, and again, it fits really the Goku Black Zamasu character. So that's why we have it really high up on this list, and especially along with that, most people don't really know about this OST or really speak about it, but I feel like, it's definitely really good compared to these other OSTs. And it's nice to, at least shed some light into this one specifically. But yeah, I think we're all good there. Let's go ahead and talk about, actually, firstly, before we move on to number 1, our honorable mention for this list. So our honorable mention is also an OST that people probably don't necessarily talk about too much, because it wasn't really like part of a main Dokkan Fest or LR unit like that. This would be just a general Heroes crossover OST. Actually, I was Saito who put me to this OST specifically, and once I really listened to it, I was like, yeah, this one is really good. I know Saito's been listening to it a lot more than me, so let me know what you think about it.
Well, for this one, it honestly would have probably made it to my list, but all the other ones they just hold something over it. But for this OST to be what it is, for how long ago it actually did drop, it was a really nice OST at the time. It's not rock heavy, it's not super orchestra heavy. It just has really good sound, and it's upbeat, then it'll go to a low beat, and then it's back to an upbeat again. It will progressively get better and better as you listen to it. And it's one of those OSTs where you think it's going to hit you with a little bit of a rinse repeat, especially when you listen extended, but no, it's actually longer than you actually think. It has variety within the OST itself, which makes it a really good OST to actually listen to. And that's probably why it also made it to an honorable mention.
Yeah, and I feel like it's repeat value. Like if you talk about like listening to the OST like multiple times, like the repetitive value, in terms of like not repetitive value, but in terms of how many times would you listen to the song multiple times, I feel like this is definitely one of them that feels fresh. And as the song goes through, it's not like necessarily like repeating itself over and over like very shortly compared to other Dokkan OSTs like that. Unfortunately, it just doesn't really doesn't really necessarily match up exactly with all the other OSTs we have above it, but it is good enough to be in our honorable mentions right here. And yeah, I mean, that's all we have to say for that one. We're gonna move on to our final number one. I'm sure a lot of people may be thinking about this already. It's also a very popular recent OST that came out in the game. As our number one, we both agreed to have LR Tapion and Minosha. Now, LR Tapion and Minosha, the OST, it just not only does it really work with the active skill itself, but having the ocarina on top of that really influenced it. Having that strong hero vibe to it. I really do like hero OSTs as well, especially. I would say I'm more inclined to liking hero OSTs slightly better than villain OSTs, just because of the energy it really has behind it. And it just feels like with the trumpets going on and everything like that, it's just like, it's all the brass going on as well. It's just really good and enjoyable to my ears, and I love listening to it. It's my personal, probably like at least top 3 OST in Dokkan. Again, like there's so many good OSTs in this game. It's surprising, and it's honestly very nice to have all these available options here. Yeah, and kick it off, Saito. What you think about this OST specifically?
I, for one, thoroughly really like this OST. To me, I'm an evil OST lover. All right, I love darkness, but this is very deserving of the number 1 slot for top 10 OSTs in the game. Because I remember, y'all know them days where, oh, mommy's picking me up from school, what type of movie we gonna go rent? You're going straight down to Blockbuster and you're gonna go get that little lock off of that Dragon Ball movie that you see. Yeah, you're gonna go home, pop that in the DVD player, and it's time. It's time for that. You feel me? The ocarina just slap, okay?
Yeah, that's my favorite part of it. Just the fact that they incorporated it into the OSTs. Not really necessarily something I was really thinking. In the first place, an LR Tapion wasn't really what I was thinking. But the fact that they put the OST there, so good, right?
It's really good.
Yeah, and that's why it's really our number 1 spot. It feels like it stands out a little more above the rest. But and honestly, all the OSTs on this tier list are good, and there's definitely very more other OSTs that are definitely valid and good enough to even deserve a spot in this top 10. But you can't name off every OST in the game, obviously. But there we have it, guys. This is our own top 10 tier list for Dokkan OSTs decided by me and the boy Saito. I want to thank you all for watching the video to the end. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are for your own personal top 10 Dokkan OSTs, what you would have put on the list. And along with that, feel free to access our link tree in the description below to have a full access to the 5-9 community. And before we end off here, anything additional you would like to add personally, Saito?
Vegeta's best unit in the game.
Alright, there we go. Well, thank you all for watching again. It's been your boy Minato and Saito, of course. And we'll be signing off now. Catch you all in the next one.